What is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another brand new Major Ben gaming video. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day as always, and I'm just glad it's Friday, to be honest, at this point, because this week has been a long one. But let's get into today's video, which is a little bit negative news again for Xbox. I mean, I don't know what's going on over there with those guys, but this is just disappointment after disappointment at the moment, and we've been told now officially, we kind of thought this would be the case, but Hellblade 2 will be 30 FPS on the Xbox consoles. So Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga will only run at 30 FPS on Xbox Series X and S. The forthcoming game from Ninja Theory has been built exclusively for Xbox and PC using Unreal Engine 5, truly showing the power of the engine. However, this comes as a cost, as German outlet GamePro has confirmed the game only runs at 30 FPS on console with dynamic resolution. There are no graphics modes, although frame rate can be increased if played on PC. Obviously, right? That should be a given. The game's VFX director told the GamePro this is to offer a cinematic experience, and the article writer noted that due to slow and weighty gameplay, the lower frame rate wasn't an issue. However, this could put some off some players, hoping for a smoother experience. This, yeah, okay, whatever, cool. So the thing I want to talk about here is this whole thing of like a cinematic experience is just a ridiculous statement. If it's better to play it at 30 FPS and the developers are genuinely saying it's better at 30 FPS, then why is it not limited to 30 FPS on PC? If that's the better experience, right? So that's a load of crap. Don't believe what they're saying. Always we've had this cinematic argument on console, never on PC, but always on console there's a cinematic argument for 30 FPS mode. It's ridiculous. It's outright worse playing a game at 30 FPS than it is at 60 FPS. There's no argument to that. It is just worse, okay? You're getting less frames per second. It doesn't look as clean, it's not as smooth, it's not as nice. Now, I don't think this game in itself being 30 FPS is that big of a deal from Xbox. I don't think it is. Like, we've been told very early on from this game that it's going to be a very cinematic game, which is clearly them hinting at 30 FPS on console. We've always been told that this is going to be 30. In fact, some people were speculating that this could even be a 24 FPS true cinematic game, because that's like what true cinematic frame rate is, right? So there are some people even hinting at that. That would have been awful, but at least we're getting 30, right? That's good news. But when you've had Redfall, a game that should not be a cinematic experience, Starfield, and now this running at 30 FPS, you've got a bit of a problem here, because Sony's releasing games like Horizon Forbidden West that look far better than Redfall and Starfield, and are running at 60, very well at 60, I might add. And they've got a PS5 Pro incoming, which is going to probably run these games even better. And on the Xbox side, that's 3 or 4 if you include Flight Simulator. Big games. Flight Simulator's more understandable. But 4 of their exclusive games, and I'm trying to think what other ones they've had. Obviously, they've had stuff like Hi-Fi Rush, which is 60 FPS. That definitely needs to be. Pentiment, I guess, like definitely should be 60 FPS. In fact, it should be 120. It is on PlayStation 5, sorry, it got 120. But on Series X, it wasn't for some reason, and then it's got patched. That's another whole thing. But the fact that this is like another major game, I think, is why so many people are talking about this and are frustrated by it. I mean, this game is graphically going to be insane. It's a UE5 game. It's going to be an absolute tech showcase. I think it's disappointing the game is like short and only 30 FPS, because it's like, well, what are we actually getting like this groundbreaking here? Like, it's kind of just a little bit disappointing, but I'm okay with short games. Sometimes I love short games. I'm going to play this game on console. I'm still going to play it because I love playing on my Series X. I like the machine, but I'm just disappointed because this isn't just the first game. If this was if Starfield and Redfall were 60 FPS at launch, I know Redfall's got a patch, but I'm talking about launch titles. If Redfall was 60 FPS at launch, Starfield was 60 FPS at launch, and this was like, oh, this is the first sort of 30 FPS true next-gen game, I think it would be a lot less like of an impact, and people would be less talking about it, put it that way. And again, with 90% of PlayStation's titles launching at 60 FPS and having that mode there as an option, this is just very, very frustrating. I'm just disappointed by this. I think it's a given. I think we are going to see more 30 FPS games going forward with the use of UE5, but we have seen games like Immortals of Avium that are on UE5. They are running at 60 FPS. They might not look as good as Hellblade, but that's because they scale things back. And I do truly believe that things in Hellblade could be like brought back a little bit to have a 60 FPS mode. I do truly believe that there could be something they could reduce to get there, but I don't know. I just think it seems excessive for a single player, like, narrative driven game, right? That's, I mean, we obviously don't know until we see the game, and I'll play the game and I'll give my opinions on it, but it's a single player narrative driven, like, you're following a path kind of game. Like, I don't think those should need to be 30 FPS. I understand graphically it's going to be good, but I'm sure there could be things that could have been scaled back to reduce this. But from my point of view, I think it's just sad that Xbox is just in this state at the moment where this isn't just the first one. This is the first of many 30 FPS games that have launched in that state, and PlayStation on the other side is not doing that. Even all the Spider-Man games that look great might not be as graphically demanding as what this game is, but Spider-Man we're getting 60 FPS. Forbidden West, we're getting 60 FPS. Ratchet and Clank, we're getting 60 FPS. Even 40 FPS modes, like, could that not have been something? Could we not have seen a 40 FPS mode if it really can't do 60? Like, there could be a 40 FPS mode. I don't know. I'm not the expert on this stuff, but from my point of view, I'm just disappointed that this is yet another 30 FPS game on the Series X. And this is the world's most powerful console with 4K 120 on the box, right? And we've been told that 60 FPS is the groundbreaking thing of this generation, right? And that we're just not been seeing that from Microsoft's side. And I'm disappointed, as I said in yesterday's video, that quite a few people did get upset with me about. But that's my opinion. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. And there's plenty more coming. And we'll talk more on Monday next week with the next video. Bye. Have a good weekend, guys.